Hello everyone, welcome to Manika IAS. Let us have a discussion with respect to today's news analysis. Let us begin with the very first topic, which is your Aditya L1. So, why it was seen in news? It was seen in news because Aditya L1 has entered a halo orbit around the Lagrange point 1. Now, in this particular news, there are three things that you must know. Those three things are: what is Aditya L1, what is an halo orbit, and what is Lagrangian point. These three things are very important for you to have a clear conceptual understanding, specifically with respect to your preliminary examination, and you can potentially have a question with respect to Aditya L1 in your mains as well. Okay, so let us begin with the very first thing. What is Aditya L1? See, it is your first mission to study the sun. Now, there are two things in the name itself. L1 stand for the Lagrange point 1. Just give me a minute. So L1 stand for Lagrange point 1, that is this. And Aditya is another name for sun in Hindi. So the name itself is self-explanatory that it is a mission that is going to study the sun and will be put in the L1 point. We'll discuss what is Lagrangian point. Now the second thing is you need to discuss know the payloads. Although you need not remember each and every payload, but it will help you in understanding the main aim of the mission. So one is visible emission line coronagraph. That means it's going to study the corona of the sun. Then you have solar ultraviolet imaging telescope, low energy X-ray spectrometer, high energy L1 orbiting X-ray spectrometer. They are going to track the sun, and the other are Aditya solar wind particle experiment, plasma analyzer package, advanced triaxial high resolution digital magnetometer. So if you see these, you understand that it's going to study the solar wind. Second, it's going to analyze the plasma as well. So if at all you get a question in prelims, like giving you the options like what are the aim, what are the role of Aditya L1, so you can easily understand knowing this payloads. However, you need not remember each and every payload. That is not necessary for you to remember. Now let us understand what is Lagrange point. See, Lagrange point, it was postulated in 18th century after Italian-French mathematician Joseph Louis Lagrange. Okay, he was the one person who gave this entire theory of Lagrange points. Okay, now what are these points? See, if you have two objects and it is that point where the gravitational force of those two objects cancel each other and they remain stationary with respect to each other. That particular point is known as Lagrange point. And there are five such points. L1 is one of those points that we'll be discussing. But however, you need to know a few details about the L1 before we understand the math about it. Okay. So they are relatively stationary to the earth and sun, and they offer a stable location as we discussed, right? Now, L1 is, now these are the points which are important from your prelims point of view. It's better if you remember this. L1 is 1.5 million kilometers from the earth, and this distance is just 1% of the total distance between the earth and sun. Okay. Now, this orbit offers a three-dimensional orbit and also offers that the spacecraft to view the sun from different angles. It is a 3D orbit, okay. And another thing is here you can view sun without any eclipse. If in general we see that there is some solar eclipse or lunar eclipse. If you are there, you in the L1, if the craft is there in the L1, then it gives you an uninterrupted view. The eclipse thing doesn't occur, okay, and you will understand why in the next slide. One thing before we proceed, see, Lagrange point here we are discussing with respect to sun. However, it's not only with respect to sun. Every body has their own Lagrange points. See, if there are two bodies, say X and Y, if there are Just give me a minute. What happened? If there are two bodies, x and y, so anywhere where the gravitational force cancels them, their gravitational force cancel each other at that point is known as Lagrange point for that specific body. Okay, so it is not only restricted to sun, it is available to all body. And if you see your asteroid belt is also in the Lagrange point. Okay, now let us move to the next slide, which will give you a better understanding of these points. See, if you see this image, there are 5 points. This is your Earth, this is Sun, this is your L1, this point, this is your L2, this is your L4, L3. So L1, L2, L3, L4, and L5. Okay, and in this, if you see, these 3 points are relatively less stable than L4 and L5. L1, L2, L3 are less stable than L4 and L5, but still they are stable. Okay. Now, one question must arise in your head, like why we chose L1 and not any of the other point, and why not L4 and L5, which are more stable than L1, L2, and L3. Why we chose only L1? So, if you see this picture, okay. Now imagine this is a picture which is taken from universe at any point of time, and you see that it is the only point which is lying between the sun and the earth. Okay, this point is not lying between sun and the earth. This is also not lying, this is away from this, and this is from here, it is also not lying in between. So this is the only point which is lying in between. And due to this, what is happening, if your craft is moving, one face of the craft is towards the earth all the time, and the other face is towards the sun all the time. So as a result of which, and because it is a point where gravitational force cancels each other, they are going to be in a relatively stable motion, although it's going to be revolving around each other, but it is still going to be in a stable position, and you can observe the sun in an uninterrupted view. Okay, you can view like continuously. There's nothing which is coming in between because it is in center of the 2 point. Okay, that is why we chose L1. And also, it is not exactly on the L1, it is the orbit around the L1. Say for example, this is the orbit. Now the question is why this orbit is called hello orbit. Why this is called the hello orbit? This is called the hello orbit because it is any orbit in which you put a craft, and if you are viewing any substance, so that object appears to you as an hello. Okay, you understand the meaning of hello, like this view is called the hello view. So if that appearance is coming, then that particular orbit is known as the hello orbit. That is why we say that it is placed in the hello orbit around L1. Okay, so this is something that you need to remember. This was about your Aditya L1. Now let us move to the next topic of the day, which is your Red Sea trouble. Now, when we are discussing about the Red Sea trouble, you need to understand the little background of it. So, what happened in the month of November? There were attacks which were done by Hamas, which is an organization in the Gaza Strip of the Israel, and they attacked the Israel mainland. Okay, so due to those attacks, there was another organization which was Houthis of Yemen. They came in support of the Hamas as Israel counteract. Okay, so if Hamas is attacking Israel, Israel will counterattack to save its own integrity and sovereignty. Okay. So Houthi militia, they came in support of Hamas, and they started attacking Israel as well. So at the same time, what they did is uh, they are attacking all the vessels which are passing through the Red Sea. Okay, as a result of which, so it's better we understand this with a map. Now see, if you see this map, here you have Israel. This is Gaza Strip, this area is Gaza Strip. From here they attacked the Israel mainland. Okay, so, and this is your Red Sea, which is bordered by Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel. This is your Sinai Peninsula, Egypt, Sudan, Eritrea, and this is your Bab el Mandal state, Gulf of Aden. Okay. Now from here, how these are operating, and they are not letting any vessel pass from this particular area. Now, this map remain a very significant part of your preparation when it comes to preliminary exam. This is always a very chaotic area, and you often get questions specifically with respect to bordering area of Persian Gulf or Red Sea. So basically, what is happening is this is here you have you have India. That this is Africa. Okay, so any export or import which is happening from India or the west or the eastern part to this particular to Europe, from Asia to Europe, is going through Red Sea, approximately 25% of the trade. Okay. Now what is happening due to this is they are altering they are impacting the trade because they are not letting any of the import or export vessels to go there. And we recently faced attack in December 23. Also on December 24 there was Chem Pluto, a vessel which was attacked just surrounding the outside the exclusive economic zone of this is Gujarat. This is Gujarat. A vessel was attacked outside the exclusive economic zone of India. There they attacked in the water with drone attack. Another drone attack was took place on 24th of December. So due to this, this area has become unsafe for traveling, and now the import and export of any sort of goods or freight is occurring through the Cape of Good Hope. If you see Africa there, the southern part here you have Cape of Good Hope, and this is where the trade is happening. Okay, now what is the impact of this particular thing? As a result of which the export and imports are taking longer to arrive. ठीक है. So already our global trade is impacted by the following reasons: your Red Sea issue, pandemic, Russia Ukraine crisis, global economic slowdown. These three things are there from 2020. We have seen economy going down, the inflation increased, and it is because of these three reasons. Aided by the Red Sea issue, which is is a major route for the import and export from Asia to Europe and Europe to Asia. This is impacting your imports, import and export as well your inflation, and that is why we say that its impact on India is 90% of the cargo to and from India that used to go to Red Sea is directed through Cape of Good Hope. Okay, so it will take longer time, longer duration of time will be taken to reach. In turn, your prices will go high. Why? Because demand will increase. Economy. Okay. If there is a demand of a particular product, that supply is hampered, and as a result of which the prices will go high. This will impact the economy of the country and the other nation as well. 10% of the Indian cargo is either not moving or not using a transit facility. So 100 में से 10% तो move ही नहीं कर रहा है. Supply is impacted. 90% which is moving is delayed. And if we are coming from Red Sea, it is not safe as well. Okay, so this is an issue. As per the Container Corporation of India is saying that 25% of its containers are being held back by Indian exporters. Okay, exporters are not even exporting their containers thinking that it might get impacted and they will lose what they have already. Exporters are not ready to export 25% of the containers, right? So this will make imports costlier, and better inventory management will be the need. So what is the response? Now the response is US, it has condemned this, and it said कि no cause of grievance. Even if you say that Israel was attacking Hamas or the Gaza Strip, you cannot say that Houthi attacks can be justified. Okay, because they are against the freedom of navigation in the Red Sea. Now US, they have launched an Operation Prosperity Guardian. Okay. However, India has not joined the operation. Although it is joined by UK, Bahrain, Canada, France, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Seychelles, Spain. These are the countries which have joined. US is asking for further support. However, India has not yet joined, and there is no official reason which has been cited. They just said that it has not impacted them as much, so they are not joining it. There is no official reason which is given. Now let us move to the next question, next article. See, next article is with respect to the new criminal laws. As we know that India has, Indian government has put in place three new criminal laws. Okay, and in that one is Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. It has given stricter punishment for hit and run cases. And this is the reason that the truck drivers in the country are agitating against the stricter punishment which is given. And they also say that they have been provided with less protection. We'll discuss how. Okay, now they have gone on a month long strike. So the concern also here is shortage of fuel. You already have global issues that we discussed in the previous article. And if you have domestic issues as well, Indian economy is going to go face issues. So currently, because truck drivers, and then that includes oil tanker drivers also, they have gone on strike, and due to which we are facing fuel shortages. Okay. Now, what does the law say about it? Section 106 of BNS says कि whenever what death of any person by doing any rash or negligent act not amounting to culpable homicide, that means it should not be an intentional or attempt to murder, okay, shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term of which may not extend to 5 years and shall also be liable to fine. So you have a punishment for 5 years and it is liable to fine as well. Now, this is if you bang into someone, okay, unintentional. And the section 1062 of the same says that if the same act and you escape without reporting it to a police officer, okay, this shall be punishable to 10 years. So hit and run may, if they have given a punishment of up to 10 years and also to the fine. So they are against this particular law. Why? They say that it is also not providing the relief which was given to them under section 134 of Motor Vehicle Act, which lays down the duty of a driver in case of an accident and require him to secure medical attention for the injured person unless it is not practicable to do so, account for mob fury or anything. They say कि it agar it is the duty of a motor vehicle, the driver, that they take that person to the hospital, they give them the required treatment, and in their circumstances if they could not do it, this was the protection that was given to them. If there are certain circumstances in which you could not do it, then it is fine. That is, say for example, if there is mob which is coming to attack you, so you can run away from that situation. So this was the protection which was given, if the circumstances allow, you take that person to the hospital. But this protection has taken away, so that's why they are protesting. What was the law under IPC says? IPC earlier was said that under section 304 of 304A of IPC, the punishment for causing death by negligence is 2 years. Now from 2, they have taken it to 5 to 10. ठीक है? And fine or both. ठीक है? This was the thing. Now the issue here is, what they are saying is that the changes which are made in the new law were made without any consultation with the truck drivers. Okay. Second, they say the jail term and fine are too steep. Fine is up to 10 lakh for drivers who earn only 10,000 to 15,000 per month. And the new law failed to provide a detailed accident investigation protocol in the country, and the absence of which drivers of heavy vehicle will continue to be deemed guilty even before an investigation is conducted. So there are three issues. They say first is there was no consultation that took place. Second, they say that the jail term and fine are too steep. Third, they say that there is no detailed investigation procedure which is given under the BNS. As a result of which, the truck driver will be deemed guilty. He will be considered as guilty until and unless the investigation took place. Okay, before the investigation is conducted. Now, if we see the statistics with respect to road accident, so total about 4.6 lakh road accident took place, out of which 1.68 deaths were reported. So 25% approximately were death. Now, of this, 56% of the accident and 60% of the fatalities occurred on national and state highway. So majority of deaths and accident are occurring on the highway, and this is where the trucks operate the max. Now trucks accounted for 9% of total accidents and death, and buses 3.5%. Okay, so total accident out of total, only 9% were by truck drivers. Hit and run cases were 18%. Total accident death, like out of this, only 18% were hit and run cases, which is a huge number. Okay, now if you see what is the overall issue and the needs, they say the truck driver is a vulnerable category and they get easily targeted by the police officers as well. So there is a need that you please train your police as well in implementing BNS, or also how to establish rash and negligent driving with the help of driving regulations. Okay, so they want the training should be provided because they are easily target for police as well, that you give them the training and you also put procedures in place to safeguard them as well. Second, you need to have better use of forensic evidence for violations such as speeding by capturing tire marks, which is absent. Okay, thereby many factors beyond the control of drivers of heavy vehicles, such as assigning the leftmost lane on the roads of the buses, which are used by cyclists and even pedestrians. Uh, Pedestrians where there are no footpaths. Okay, so what they are saying is ki there first of all you need to have better forensic, like you need to really get into the details that whether the truck driver were overspeeding or not first. Second, they say is that there are some technical basically procedural errors, like you are assigning the leftmost lane to the truck drivers when you are driving. Now, this is the lane which is used by cyclists and the people who are walking by foot if there is no footpaths. So, this is also a contrast. Okay, you need to figure it out, the right thing also for that. Now, there is an issue of driver fatigue, which should be addressed by regulating their working hours. So, there is no regulation with respect to the working hours of the drivers. So, the issue of driver fatigue arrives, and you ensure that the truck cabins are ergonomic so that they are comfortable and better control of the vehicle they are driving. So you need to look into the construction of trucks as well, you make it more ergonomic. Second, you need to fix the times also. For that you need to have forensic things, forensic details also, and you need to make some policy changes as well. These are the demands, these are the issue, and these are the need when it comes to your road accident. Now this is something that you can mention in your mains answer. Using the data that we have discussed, if there is any question with respect to road accident, these are the suggestions that you can provide. These are really good suggestions. You just need to change the language as per the question and you present them. So you can keep a note of it. And if you want the PDF, you can follow the Telegram channel. The link will be given in the description box. Till then, have a good day. Take care. Thank you so much.